All right, Allison, I'm going to try and show you how to recode a variable. It'll make the analysis a lot easier because it's going to help you collapse things the way that you want to. And also, it'll keep the original data while creating new variables for you to work with. So you want to click here. This is the variable I'm going to show you how to do it with. This is whether they live in Jefferson County. So you go to transform, go to recode into different variables. So it's going to take your original variable here, change it into something different. So let's see, this is the variable you want to change. So click on it, put it in the box. Now give it a new name. It's not going to delete the original, that will stay there. So you can't have any spaces in your variable name, but your label can be whatever you want. So lives in Jefferson County. And then click change. And go to old and new values. So 1 is still 1. Click add. And I'm assuming 2 is no, but if it's not, then you may need to change it. So we're going to change any no's to zeros. Because usually 0 is no, 1 equals yes. Hit continue. Then click OK. So it's going to create this new variable for you. It's going to show up here at the end of your data set. So you have 1s and 0s now. The way that you create labels for these, so that it actually says a label as opposed to just a number, you would go in to the variable view. You would find your variable, which is livejc. It's down here. So values, this is where you would go in, value label 1, or the value 1 equals yes. Click add. 0 is no. Click add. Then click OK. So in those 2 short steps, if you look back at your data and you toggle between the value and the label, you'll see yeses and nos. If you go back, you'll see 1s and 0s. So we were able to transform that first variable here into numbers and also value labels so that it's easier to understand. So let me show you a different one. I'm going to create kind of a new make-believe variable. Let's find one of these Likert scales. In your opinion, let's see, how many values do we have here? You probably want to select the whole, let me select this whole data set for you. So let me show you on a different variable how you can use this to collapse using this, this feature here to transform the variable. So let's take one of these opinion ones, and I don't know the value, so I'm just going to take a wild guess here and say that 1 and 2 are like the agree ones and everything else is not agree. So you would go to transform, recode into different variables just like we did last time, reset this whole thing. In your opinion, let's try a different variable. I want to give you a good example. So let's see. How much do you agree? Let's try one of those, okay? So I'm just going to call this test variable, delete later, click change, old and new values. Now let's say that I wanted to use a range so that 1 and 2 now equal 1. And I can put all other values equal 0. So this is the agree, don't agree that we talked about, just splitting it into 2. Then you click add, okay, click continue, click OK, and it's going to recode us a nice new variable. Get rid of the output here. So here at the end, this test variable, now we're going to go in and we're going to label it just like we did with the live in Jefferson County so that you can see both. See the difference there? This one's labeled so you can see the yes and the no. This is still just numbers. So we can go straight back to the number look. Just toggle here between like qualitative words or numbers. So go to variable view, go down here to your variable, your test variable. We're going to give this values so that 1 would be agree, agrees or agree, add. 0 would be do not agree, add. Click OK, and now it's going to label those things for you. So you go in here, and you can see the yeses and do not agrees. It's a nicer view to work with data, and for your purposes, I think this is going to help quite a bit. So you can go through this and do all the variables that you want using those two functions. Again, the first one is just transform, recode into different variables. I showed you how to do that. Then you can go in and add the value labels so you can actually see what you're working with here instead of just numbers by toggling this button right here. So that'll make it easier for you to collapse things and also to see the data in a way that makes it super easy to work with. So I hope this helps. If not, well, we'll drop back, we'll figure out what we can do. But the data set looks good. I've given you a couple tools to get things in shape. I think I removed all the little dots. So see, here's one. I didn't. You'll need to use an edit replace function to get rid of all those. Just replace it with nothing. It's going to mess up your, when you go to do descriptives, it creates a category for those little dots, and it just messes up the calculation. So if you just want to edit replace this whole thing, get rid of those little dots, that would be great. All right, let me know if you need anything else.